Mm, Sorry, guys. Hello, welcome in. I am gonna be with you in a second. I'm just trying to find the the. I just created an event. Here it is. Okay, from the Facebook because, like I said, I go on live on YouTube and on Facebook. Oh my god, I look so scruffy right now. Excuse me, guys. Haircut is not in my budget this week, but I get paid this Friday, so it'll be in my budget on Friday. So I'll get a haircut then. Okay, found the live, going live on Facebook. Let me open up my notes. I'm sorry, excuse it. It's that 5 p.m. feeling. Hey, welcome back to another episode of It's a Matter of Life or Death. I am your host, Josue. I am doing a lot better this week. Still not out the trenches yet, but we're getting better. I was talking to YouTube for a little bit before Facebook joined because I go on live with both platforms, different mechanisms, different devices, two platforms. We're going to be doing this at least for this year for sure. Maybe next year as well as we grow the YouTube program or the YouTube channel. But definitely try to catch us on there. Ideally, we would like to have them through there only, but we love our Facebook audience. So, and our Facebook has the biggest reach, the biggest following. So that's part of my fault. I don't necessarily have access to the Instagram, but we don't work it enough. I kind of want to do all of it, but okay. I won't take too long today. Still recovering a little bit, but however, I also have another workshop to give today. We are going to be in Wheeling. We are going to be actually tell you the name of the library. We are going to be at Indian Trails Public Library today. So I'm going to be there at 7 p.m. I have a workshop on the real cost of home ownership. So if you guys are in the Wheeling area or need near Indian Trails Public Library, come through. Pull up and then get some good information about pre-home ownership. Or why am I yawning so much? I'm sorry. It's just been a long day. It's been a very busy day. Well, I'll be talking about the real cost of home ownership, because if you guys aren't familiar, home ownership goes way past just paying your mortgage. And that's what we're talking about this month is mortgage delinquency. So, it's really important to understand what goes into owning a house. So I won't be here too long. I got to run right after that. With that being said, I wanted to hit another point before going on with our regularly scheduled programming, and it is about our 5K. The 5K that we are hosting. Dana did clarify that because last week I was talking about it, and I was like, I'm not sure what the route is going to be, and the route is going to be all around the park. So Emerickson Park, we're just going to go around there. Pretty sure. How long is a 5K? Let me see. In miles. I always wonder this, because in the military I did like running, but not like long distance running. Like, I don't know. I probably did like maybe, let me see. How many miles in a 5K is a 5K? 3.1 miles. So I definitely did. I used to do 5Ks for like just morning runs with my unit. So I'm pretty sure I do a 5K. I'm not quite sure what the time is going to be at now. When I used to run regularly, when I used to do long distance running, it was, I want to say I was probably at like a good, maybe like 10-minute mile, maybe 9-minute mile, around there. I was definitely not at an 8-minute mile, but definitely between 9 and 11, maybe now 11, but I definitely for sure, I was closer to 10-minute miles back then. The fastest I ran, and see, 2 miles is not really like a good measure because 2 miles it's only 2 miles and this is 3 miles, but in 2 miles you could essentially run it, I mean, you could definitely run a 5K, but I think it's a lot more distance. Well, it's a whole nother mile, so you won't be able to keep the pace. But when I did my 2 miles, the fastest I ever did it was in 13 minutes and 30 seconds, which comes up to like about 6 minutes and 45-second miles, which is not bad. So if you average it into 3 miles, I'm pretty sure I'll be closer to like 10. Nowadays, I only play soccer. So I'm actually gonna tell you guys the time after I do the 5K, which is on September 12th. It starts at 10 a.m. Check-in starts at 9:30 a.m. There is a post pinned on our Facebook page on how you could register, sign up, and participate. It is a $40 entry fee. Again, September 12th, run, walk, or support. You could always just walk as well. You are not obligated to run. I want to run just because everybody's doing 5Ks nowadays, and I want to compare my time to all of my peers' times, you know? Also, I was talking to the YouTube chat about this. Look at this piece of hair right here that's just not coming down. Excuse my scruffiness. A haircut was not in my budget this week. Payday is Friday, so it will be in my budget after Friday. Okay, back to mortgage delinquency. So this month we started talking about delinquency in your mortgage because it is a topic kind of that goes hand in hand with not necessarily hand in hand, but it plays off the topic we spoke about last month, where if you're having trouble keeping up with your mortgage payments or even just the maintenance, the upkeep on your mortgage, there's ways to get out, especially if you're an elder person. You can use a reverse mortgage, you know, but do you really want to do that? Do you really want to create more debt? You could also choose to move in with family and so on and so on. However, that's what we talked about last month. So this month is kind of like a play on that as well. Not necessarily a play, but branch off, because we talked about mortgage delinquency. Now, I introduced a couple of things last week, kind of like the time frames where you go from like delinquent to default. If you guys want to watch that, it's on our Facebook page still. It will be here for about 3 more weeks, and then Facebook takes it down. But it will live on our YouTube page for good. So, excuse me. I'm still a little stuffy. I'm not out the trenches just yet, but we're getting better. Anyway, so we talked about that last week. We talked about the different time periods. I'll also recap it probably in 2 weeks when it's the last week. So I'm here to tell you guys about some of the impacts to the consumer, to you. What happens when you are delinquent on your mortgage, and what happens when you go into default. Because remember, you have a grace period. Also, I'm gonna throw in some rent tips in there as well. I know renting and owning a residence is completely different, but for my renters, there is gonna be a little information for you here as well. Okay, so if you guys aren't familiar, like I said last week, there is a grace period. Within that grace period, there's nothing that really happens to your credit. You are still good to pay. It won't get reported if you pay up until the last day of your grace period. Quick reminder, and here I am talking about what's on the video last week, but the grace period is from 0 to 15 days. If you have a house and your mortgage payment, that's your grace period, and the rent is from 0 to 5 days. Now, after those 15 days, then you're officially late. You know. After, well, not necessarily those 15 days, but just that grace period, because you're officially late with your landlord as well. I wanted to throw in the landlord thing in there because some landlords may report to your credit bureaus, some landlords may not. Whichever one you have, that's up for you to decipher. How else should I put this? Also, the lenders will definitely report to your bureaus that you are late on your payment. And your credit score will start to decrease at that point. If you guys aren't familiar with credit, we've talked about it again in a couple other life segments. Once you're late on payments, your credit report goes down drastically, and the amount of points that your credit score drops, it's not the equivalent of the amount of points you will recover when you do get current on those late payments. So think about it this way, just to put it as an example, as in perspective. You miss your car payment. Let's just say hypothetical. You know, that's based on credit. You have car payments and you missed one. That will get reported to your credit bureaus, and then let's not even go into missing one, just being late, because right now we're on delinquent. We're not even in default. So you're late. That will get reported to your creditors. Let's say you're late 5 days. Your score will drop. Hypothetically speaking, I don't know the exact math. I don't know the exact scores. So don't quote me on this. But just hypotheticals. Let's say your score drops 100. Then the next payment, not only do you make it on time, but you pay a little bit more, then your credit score will likely only go up like 20 or 15 points. So it's a big difference. There's not that exact difference. It might be like it goes down 50 points and you only recover like 5, or you only get 1 point for making your payment on time and you make more than the minimum payment. I'm not quite sure how the scoring works, but that's just to put it in perspective. Whenever you are late on a payment or you miss a payment, then that even just drops it even more. And again, the increments where your credit decreases are so much larger than the increments where your credit increases, especially when you're just doing I don't want to say the bare minimum, but if you're just making your payments on time, sending payments monthly, and just doing the minimum, the bare minimum, then definitely your credit score will not recover as fast as it drops for you being late, delinquent on your payments. Now, once it goes into default, it takes a bigger hit. Now you're missing payments. And then when you're missing payments, your credit score also goes down. So it's a double whammy. You get your credit score drops when you're late, let's say 50 points, and then it'll probably drop 100 points when you miss a payment. That's 150 points that it'll drop for missing a payment and being late on a payment. Now, again, those might not be the actual figures. It could just be like 20 points or 10 points for being late and 25 points for missing a payment, and then you'll drop the 35 points. But back to my point, when you pay on time and you pay a little bit more, that may only be a point or 2 points. So keep that in mind. It's always important not to default, not to miss a payment. Once you miss a payment, then that's when things get a little difficult. Not only on your credit score perspective, but also in the catching up perspective, because when you miss a payment, then you start getting into a hole. That might be really hard to claw your way out of it, because then you not only have late fees, maybe you have missing payment fees, you have interest that gets accrued on that, depending on the type of debt that it is. So it will create a hole once you default. Okay, then after defaults, as we talked about it last week, once you're in that certain default time frame, the lenders will probably start reaching out to you for ways to help you, ways to get you back on path, and maybe discussions on how to avoid losing your property. If you're at this point, then your credit score is probably taking a big hit. Anything that you want to do at this point would be salvageable, or to salvage a little bit of your credit score is doable and definitely suggested. We suggest whenever people come and talk to us about our debt management plans, free promo. Our debt management plans, whenever people come talk to us about them, we tell them, hey, we're gonna close your credit cards because we negotiate an interest rate for you to be able to pay these down in a shorter time frame. So when we tell that to people usually ask, first question, FAQ, frequently asked questions, wouldn't that decrease my credit? And meanwhile, it will decrease your credit, closing your credit cards. The benefit that you get in the long run outweighs the decrease at that point. Also, at that point, some people may already be late or missing payments already, and then their credit is definitely already suffering. So at that point, you kind of can't do anything more to it than you already haven't done. So again, sometimes it's okay if your credit decreases. It's not the end of the world, as long as you establish a good foundation, which is a budget and a plan to get that credit score back under control and back in positive numbers. Okay, and then last but not least, when you're in default, when you are past that grace period, past the 90-day, past the 60-day period, past the delinquency period, if you're probably like two payments in the hole at this time, the lender will definitely give you a plan of action. Either you go talk to a certain number of agencies, which are not for profit and or maybe cost effective, like CCCS, and then you go talk to the counseling services, get you a new plan, get a restructure of your budget, because that definitely goes into the planning of the budget. That and also that is one of the main contributors on you being delinquent on your payments. Even if you are to like suffer the loss of income without a budget, if you don't have income to build a budget, then there's your answer. But if you don't and you're just struggling to make ends meet, how we like to put on our business card, if you have too much month at the end of your money, then a restructure or your budget is definitely due in line, because that will at least carry you through your current financial situation that you're living in. Because again, at the end of the day, we always want to improve our financial situation at all times. With that being said, you could always come talk to us if you're facing any financial troubles. If you don't think you're going to be able to make your mortgage payment, definitely give us a call. Our counselors are here to offer help at no cost to you. We will talk to you about all of your options, maybe selling the residence, maybe, going through the foreclosure, maybe going through bankruptcy. We will look at all of the options under the sun, and we will help you. We will feed them to you so you can make an educated decision, because at the end of the day, nobody cares more about your money than you do. So it's super difficult topic to talk about. We talk about this all the time. If you're having financial struggles, reach out to somebody, ask for help, because there's plenty of help outside, plenty of free help on top of that. And, people are just here to look after you. So don't be afraid to say it. Also, you're your best line of defense, or your first line of defense. Nobody knows your money better than you do. Nobody knows your financial situation better than you do. So you're able to talk to the lenders as well, and you're able to tell them your situation, and they're going to be able to help you out as well. All in all, you could always give us a call. Again, we're here to help, but don't be afraid to talk about it, because you're not the only person that goes through financial struggles and that's not able to make their mortgage payment on time every month. So you're not the only one. There will be more people. There are more people, and we help everybody at no cost to them. So with that being said, you guys enjoy the summertime outside. It is going to be a hot one this week. Get outside, start getting those miles in, because start preparing for I-5K. And then if you talk to somebody about finance, just let them know. There is a pretty cool Hispanic guy that talks about finance on CCCS's Facebook. You should check him out. He probably has some good info that could help you. And if they missed any of the past ones, they can find us on our YouTube as well. So stay tuned for more cool events that were happening. Again, if you're near the Indian Trails Library, I will see you there today at 7. Other than that, take care of yourself, take care of your money, take care of your budget. If you need help with your budget, give us a call, because it's a matter of life or death. All right? I'm so glad I'm feeling better. Hope nobody gets sick this summer. And then World Cup is almost over. So I'll be back with more fun things after that. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.